Hey Robert, so I saw your post. I have it up here on my desktop, and you say, "I'm so frustrated. Why can't I keep my pick from moving and rotating in my fingers and thumb?" So I had this exact same issue a number of years ago, and what happened is, right? I used to hold my pick like this. Okay, so you could see that the index finger and the thumb are pointing in the same direction, right? And even if I squeeze, you could see, give a good squeeze here, right? Even if I squeeze, the pick still moves, right? Under resistance, right? Which is what the string is. And I learned that the pick moves because I am just touching it a little bit with a little bit of the finger. It's basically not enough, you know? So even if I have the whole wide part of the thumb on, just that pinch alone, and especially if I put the pick too deep into the string, will start to cause it to move around, right? The solution for that instead is to think about the little bit of geometry, right? So if we think of perpendicular lines, which are two lines that intersect at a 90-degree angle, the plus sign, right? So the tip of the pick acts as the horizontal line, and my index finger acts as the vertical line. So or I should say, by putting the pick on or near the tip of my finger. This little knuckle is called the distal joint. So from basically not right in the middle of the distal joint, but a little after it, right? About there to the tip of the finger, right? I like to have the actual tip of the finger a little past the pick. You can see it there. Okay, and then I just hold it as if I'm, holding a cup of coffee or something of that nature, right? Then I take the whole pad of the thumb and I put it over the whole wide part of the pick. So when I do that, you could see that sort of on the outside, the pick sort of sticks out a little bit. You can see like the curvature of the pick sort of matches the outline of the thumb. And then same thing on the tip of the thumb. So there's my thumb, my flesh right there. And then the pick is sort of mirroring that as well. Okay? And you'll see that I have my index finger right about there. Now, it doesn't have to be totally perpendicular, right? That can be sometimes be a little comfortable, but if I'm playing sort of really fast and I want to just bring the fingers in a little bit, then I will get that pretty clear perpendicular hold to it. Now, all we need to understand is that this extra contact, this surface area contact that I have, plus keeping the whole instead of just a little bit, like I was mainly using just the tip of the thumb to make contact, but now I'm using the lower part of the pad as well because it's a really big piece of flesh here. So I put that right over the back of the pick, and I get this nice contact. Now, even if I just sort of bring the pick in, you'll see that the pick can actually stick to the thumb because it's actually touching so much of it, which is just great. And so just a little squeeze in the thumb, ever so slightly, still quite soft there, and that gets you the security. Now, this is great for soloing and speed picking and sweeping and all that kind of stuff, right? This is how I like to hold it for that. And then if I'm gonna strum, I'll just bring the finger out a little bit. I'll extend that knuckle, the middle knuckle, the proximal joint, and I'll have less perpendicularity in it. But what that'll do is it'll give it a little bit more give, and so that's perfect for strumming and just any sort of light playing where you don't want that sort of percussive sound from going through each string on its own.